All right, look. The first thing is what we were talking about earlier with comfort cooling. All right, so there's different classes of coolant, and it gets a little confusing because they have different requirements for when they need to have their leak repair stuff done. And you need to kind of draw a chart. You also have another chart on type 2 that talks about how far we need to pull a vacuum before we open the system for repair. And that's actually the easier of the first two to remember. So we're going to start there, all right? And that rule is, usually, it's like a locker combination. I want you to write this down. 0, 0, 10, 10, 15. It's not too hard to remember. Everything goes by 10 or 15. 0, 10, or 15 is all you got to know. 0, 0, 10, 10, 15. Now what that means is we're going to break this down now. You'll take it and you're going to break it down like this, all right, into some separate lines. And we're going to talk about the different ones. So if you're using recovery equipment, most of it now has been made after 1993. There's no more. There used to be another set of numbers you had to remember for equipment that was made before that. But very high pressure appliances. Do you remember the refrigerant for very high pressure appliances? Very high pressure. Very high pressure. What was the one refrigerant that really is our base for global warming? What do you exhale?
Carbon dioxide.
That's right, CO2. CO2. So CO2, we don't even recover. We can just blow that out. So you don't need to pull a vacuum on that one with the recovery machine. So that's 0 inches in mercury. It's just got to get to 0 on the gauge. 0. All right? 0. And then, so if and there's not probably going to be any test questions on there. It's going to be broken down into either now what we call very high pressure appliances to high pressure, and they're broken down into two categories here. So both of these are high pressure appliances. Now remember, I told you have this PT chart. What am I talking about with high pressure appliances? That's any of the refrigerants that are on this side. Okay? So any of the refrigerants that are on this side with this color is what they're talking about with this rating here. Now why are there two? Because we're dealing with systems that have either a charge of over 200 pounds or a charge of less than 200 pounds. So if it's less than 200 pounds, which means I'm going to write less here, 200, and that's all the HVAC equipment that's out in the houses and the fields. They don't have no 200 pounds of refrigerant. You just need to get it down to 0. 0 on the gauge. All right? Now, if you go and we have something that has more than 200 pounds of refrigerant in it, you need to get to 10 inches in mercury vacuum before you can open the system for repair. It's got to show that on our gauge, not the micron gauge, just the regular blue compound manifold gauge that goes down to 10 inches in mercury vacuum. We don't say negative 10, it's always INHG, because Hg is a chemical symbol for mercury and In is inch. Now what am I talking about here? This is not high pressure appliances here. This is the other side of the sheet, because you have R22 and some of the other hydrofluoroolefins that aren't very high pressure. They're considered what's called a medium or lower pressure. It's a medium, really, we'll call it. Medium pressure appliance. And that's why these are on the other side of the PT chart, because if you hook your gauges up, the pressure rating in any of these refrigerants is not going to be as high as if you went to 410A, okay, or some of the other higher pressure refrigerants. And they also have the same rule, though. If you remember the less than 200, more than 200 here, you need to mirror this here down here. And you can do this chart real quick before the test even happens. You can't have it on a piece of paper. I can only give you a blank piece of paper. The proctor can only give a blank piece of paper. But if you have this chart here, sort of like what we did with core with the refrigeration cycle, for some students that do that, they like to draw the cycle. And there's a few other things we do for core. But this is the thing I would do for type 2. If it has less than 200 pounds, it's high pressure, that's going to carry down here as well. If it has less than 200 pounds for medium pressure, we're going to go to 10 inches in mercury before we can open the system. But if it has more than 200 pounds of any of these medium temperature refrigerants that are on this side of the PT chart, then you've got to get down to 15 inches in mercury vacuum before opening the system for service and repair, is what that's saying, okay? Now, these are just dealing with refrigerants. The next chart that you have to remember for type 2 is dealing with the equipment. And also then, not just the equipment, where it's being used. Because we have, what would you say comfort? What did you learn about comfort? What is comfort?
Like leaks?
No, comfort cooling. What does comfort cooling mean on that flashcard that you read? You remember?
I'm gonna look at it. A leak repair category defined by the EPA as air conditioning appliance used to provide cooling in order to control heat or humidity facilities. Residential.
Okay. What I was thinking more, comfort cooling's for people. Comfort cooling is so that we are comfortable, like in the school. I have a package unit that's up on the roof. I mean, that's a pretty good definition, but I have no idea what you said. Did you catch that? No. But let me tell you this. Why do you have air conditioning in your house? So that you're comfortable. Why do we have air conditioning in the school and the movie theater? So we're comfortable. That's comfort cooling for people. Because we also use cooling. If you looked on YouTube or some of the other outlets, you can see in the factories where they make steel, they don't just pour that molten steel down anywhere. They've got pads that have these cooling systems that are transferring that heat to help mold that steel into what it's supposed to be. That has nothing to do with people. That's not for comfort. That's for a process. That's for a process like industrial steel creation. All right, which is different than industrial. Industrial is like when they're making big factory stuff. Like, so you've got a chip manufacturer that's doing it again, not for people, but because the process they use to make the chips is getting something hot. And they've got to cool it down and transfer that heat out. So it's really for this next chart. This was the first chart. The next chart is going to be that type of equipment and the amount of the refrigerant the equipment's got. Because we don't have to really leak repair type 1 appliances. There's such a small amount of refrigerant. I know we should whenever possible, but you don't really have to do leak repair on type 1. It's not required. In recovery, you only have to get 80 or 90% of the refrigerant. There's more of a leeway. But 80, 90% of 500 pounds of refrigerant, like what's in the industrial units for that sheet metal, that needs to be cooled while it's coming off the molten, the big cauldron that dumps it, that's got 500 pounds of refrigerant in it, and 80%, man, we're talking about 100 pounds, 2-3 of those tanks being blown into the atmosphere on a leak. We can't have that. So they've got these leak repair requirements for one, comfort cooling, and I might have to change my marker here real quick, and I will after this. Comfort cooling, and this is only for equipment that has 50 or more pounds. So most, again, the residential comfort cooling, the one the package unit that's up on my roof, 15 pounds of refrigerant. This doesn't apply. The unit that's in your house, 5 pounds, 10 pounds of refrigerant. This doesn't apply. This only applies if it has more than 50 pounds of refrigerant. And on this, if you have a leak, okay, and it's leaking more than 10%, so comfort cooling, I want you to think about it as 10%. It's got the smallest number. Comfort cooling is 10% because if it leaks out, if it's got more than 50 pounds of refrigerant in 1 calendar year, you've got to fix that leak. And this is where the record keeping kept into play now. So the customer, the residential customer's got to keep records of this. They keep the service ticket. The technician will also too, but ultimately it falls back on the customer for this comfort cooling. Gets a little different once we get up into the other areas. But 10%, so if you had a system by chance, a residential system, which doesn't exist that I know of, that has 55 pounds of refrigerant in it, and it's leaking 20 pounds a year, you've got to fix it. Because this law, this rule says that's what's got to happen. But your system that only has 5 pounds of refrigerant, if it loses 10%, that's like half an ounce, half a pound. It's not much. It's like 8 ounces, half a pound. It's not much. We can dump the refrigerant back on top of that for your house. So customers do not, at the residential level, really have to follow any leak repair requirements. But where it really gets serious is when you have that 5 to 500 pounds, the 50 actually above this. Okay, so now we've got commercial and industrial cooling. All right? and now we're talking about, again, a range of 2 areas. So I'm going to put a line here, and I'm going to say that this one is going to be 50, so we're going from 50 to 500 pounds, and then above here, 500 plus. Because this same thing is true, except the times change. If it's 550 to 500, you're going to get 20% leak rate. So again, you could leak up to 100 pounds a year if it's commercial, right, being used for making chips, or industrial process coolant being used for making sheet metal, right? You can, if it's got a system that has 50 to 500 pounds of refrigerant in it, and it's leaking out 100 pounds or more in a calendar year, then you got to fix that leak. And you got to keep checking it more. I think it's like, for the next one, up here, if it has over 500 pounds, 30% there is the rule. So the same system, if it has over, for example, I'm doing super big areas, sheet metal, right? Not just one little sheet metal pad, we're probably doing 10 pads, and that piece of equipment's got more than 500 pounds of refrigerant in it, it can leak out up to 30%. But it's got to be checked, not this is a calendar year, every quarter, every 3 months. It's got to have a leak check and verification that it doesn't leak. And you got to keep records of this. And now this is on the maintenance crews. This is what they do. All right? So this is easy to remember because you only have the 2 types of coolant. For people, and it's only mounted on the plant if it's over 50 pounds in the equipment. And that's comfort coolant, and they can leak out 10%. So it's 10, 20, 30. So that's what I would do. Let's go ahead and just review real quick before I move on. Let's go back. What was the combination I said earlier? 0, 0, 10, 10, 15. What does this mean? What am I breaking it down to? I've got one here, and then I've got this here. Redraw it with me. Go ahead, flip the paper over, and get to here first. Do this again. Flip the paper over. Don't look at your notes. And let's do it again real quick. So I've got 0, 0. You knew the numbers, but what does the very top one mean and is it being used? No, very high pressure. That's that carbon dioxide. And we're really not using, I don't think any, as far as I know, with the new 2019 version test, there's no high pressure questions. But the next one, or very high pressure, because the next one is what?
High pressure.
Just high pressure, yeah. And what did the first for high pressure? So I'm talking here, if I need to give you an example, 410A, that's the blue, pink one that we've been using, very high pressure. What did the top one mean? How much refrigerant? Less than, yep. So it would be less than 200 or more than 200. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Greater and less than, right? Sometimes I mix that up. I'm a little, but, huh?
I think that's what it said at first.
Yeah, so it's less than 200. You got to get down to 0 before you can open up the system for repair. That's it on the gauge. And then 200 pounds or more of refrigerant, you got to get down to 10 inches of mercury. And then you can open the system for repair and change filter dryer and do the leak test and fix it and make sure that you got the leak done. Now, what was the second one then? Medium pressure. What type of refrigerant do you think is medium pressure? We got R410. What's the other types that we've been using in here?
134A.
134A. Or, what's the green one? R22. Thank you, Nick. R22. So these are medium pressure. So if you got one of these on the nameplate saying R122, R22, R134A, then this is going to be, again, take it back down here. Less, 200. We're getting to 10 inches of mercury. More than 200, 10 inches of mercury. If you can do this chart, very first thing, and I've had the students at the college level all do this with a scratch paper. This will help you answer 4 questions on type 2. That's usually the make or break between if you can get the 7 right that you need or the 7, out of the 4. These are piece of cake questions. Once you have this chart, and so if I had a system, let's say that had 250 pounds of R410A refrigerant in it, how much do I got to get the gauge down to before I can open the system for repair, AJ?
Is that how many pounds?
250, man, of R410A. It's a pink Dremel refrigerant, and I look on the nameplate and it says I got 250 pounds. I have to get it, that gauge has got to go down to 10. But Nick, if I come to an R22 system and it's got 50 pounds of refrigerant in it, what do I got to get down to? 10 too, yep. So those are 10. The R22 or the 134A is 10 inches, or the 410A if it's got less than 200. So this would be, or more than 200. All right? But Briggy, if I got, let's say, I don't know, your system at home, and I look on the nameplate and it says 15 pounds of R410A, what do I got to get the gauge down to open the system for repair? 0. So just like what we did at that house, we got it down to 0, and it shut down. We could blend it out. And there's still a little residual, I think, at that hose or something. But for the most part, we got down to 0. It showed 0 on my gauge. And that made us available to open up the system for repair. Again, there's at least 4 questions on this, and then there's going to be another 4. And again, don't flip your paper over. What are the numbers? What are the numbers? What are the percentages? Start with the lowest. 10, that's right. 10%. Do another one with me here. Write this down. 10%, what's the next one?
20.
20, yep, 10, 20. And the last? 30. That's right, 30%. So if I have, what was the 10% for? What type of equipment? Comfort cooling. Comfort. What does that mean for comfort? People. Your homes. That's right. Businesses, schools, movie theaters, all this stuff. Comfort for people. Comfort cooling has how much refrigerant in it?
Less than 50.
Well,
Less than 200.
okay, so 50 or more pounds though for this one. So this is going to be 50 or more pounds. Is when you really have to pay attention to how long? What's my time frame? A year if it's leaking out refrigerant. Because if it's leaking out more than 10%, 6 pounds in 1 year, fix the leak. But if you only have to add a pound, and you come back in 6 months, and you don't have to add a pound, and then you came back in another 6 months and you had to add a pound, you don't have to fix the leak in my house if it has more than 50 pounds of refrigerant in it. It's very rare you see that. What were these 2 for? What type of equipment? What? No, comfort is for people. Commercial. Yep, so for like a big building, commercial building, all right? Not these. These are the small appliance equipment. That would be like the chiller over here, commercial, right? Or industrial. What is that like? What was my example for industrial cooling?
Between 50 and 500.
Steel workers.
The steel workers and the 2 types, yes, Nick, jumping through, was 50 to 500 pounds of refrigerant because that falls in line with the 20% rule. So if it's, whether it's commercial for a big building like the school, everything else in the high school, we all have package units in these rooms. So they don't have more than 50 pounds of refrigerant, so we don't even have to follow this rule. But the school with the chiller, they've got somewhere between 50 and 500 pounds of refrigerant, and it's a commercial device. So if the engineer that keeps track of all these numbers, it's his job, which could be one of you someday, the facilities engineer for the school, notices that we're losing 20-25% of refrigerant, we got to call people in to get the leak fixed, according to this law. And then the commercial industrial, and how often you got to get that checked, we keep records for here,
1 year.
same 1 year. But because we got more than 500 pounds of refrigerant here, what's the leak rate requirement now going to?
1/4.
Quarter, or every 3 months. You've got to keep checking, see if we're losing anything. Because, man, we don't want to lose the 100 pounds of refrigerant. 1, it's expensive. 2, it's really bad for the environment in those large volumes compared to the ounces we're talking about for type 1. You get this chart down, these 2, this is half the type 2 test, I feel. Okay? You got any problems with me putting this on YouTube? Okay. Because we got to update YouTube.
I get
This,
my percentage
oh,
of the ad revenue.
absolutely. We're going to trade it for NFT work. So,
Okay, I can deal with that.
What about me?
I think I had.